Namaskar, I'm Harpreet Kaur and I welcome you all to a live and interactive online training session on ICT for teaching and learning of science. This session is organized by Central Institute of Educational Technology, NCERT, New Delhi. You are watching this live session on PME Vidya channel number 6. And let me tell you that this is an online training program, so you have to participate in the assessment activity if you wish to. And if you score more than 70%, you will be granted a certificate. For that, you need to watch all our sessions very carefully, and I will share with you all the details on how you can register and participate in this assessment activity. Well, today is day one of this online training program where we will be talking about ICT for teaching and learning of science, policy perspectives, need and scope. We all know that today ICT or information and communication technology is playing a big role in the educational sector. Today we are talking about blended learning, we are talking about inclusive education, and we are also focusing on the guidelines laid down by National Education Policy 2020. When it comes to teaching of science, we all know that ICT helps enhance creative and critical thinking in children when integrated with science education. But to know more about the policy perspectives and of course need and scope, we have our expert in the studio. So let me introduce her to all of you. We are joined by Dr. Jipsy Malhotra. Ma'am, namaskar and welcome to the session.
Namaskar.
Ma'am is Assistant Professor from MPT CIET NCERT New Delhi, and with ma'am we will take this journey forward and we will talk about the role of ICT in education, especially in science, and how National Education Policy 2020 is talking about it and what all guidelines are there and recommendations and everything. So Dr. Jipsy, I have this very first question for you that we all know that we are moving away from traditional educational system. So how do you see the role of ICT in transforming traditional educational systems, especially in terms of teaching and learning practices, be it any subject?
Very beautiful question, that how we are making us move from traditional approach to this ICT world. Before starting my session, I would like to narrate one of the story regarding one of the class. It happened in school.
Sure.
Teacher was explaining about Chandrayaan. As you know, National Space Day celebration was being done. Teacher was explaining that the Chandrayaan 3 took a time of over a month. I think 14 July it started and on 23rd August it has been launched. Then the student asked if we have so much powers, if satellites are there, if we launching pads are there, why it took over a month and all? Teacher start explaining that there is some arrangements, robot has to move out, then it has to move from earth to moon and all, and student was really not as satisfied, as confused. Teacher explained it in more detail that from the Satish Dhawan Center, it was launched, the rocket was well prepared and then it went. Then also a child said, why it took so much time? Then teacher explained about Kepler's law, and the child was mesmerized at what happened. How can I learn about that? After that, after some time, teacher brought laptop and she started showing the pictures. I would just like to show that. She opened one of the site and she opened this Bharat on the Moon portal, and there was just clicking on the Bharat on the Moon, this trajectory was being shown. Then the child understood that yes, there was some special orbit where the satellite has to insert and then it will be launched outside the escape velocity of the gravity. Seeing all this animations and all, the child was able to understand why it took over a month, how it followed the path of the trajectory and it took over a month. So this is what is ICT, which I say, traditional approach to the So it's not that ICT is the only answer, but it gives more explanation, it gives more accessibility, it gives more abstract ideas to be converted into the originality. So that is why from this traditional approach, this ICT is being there. Then I would like to say because India, we have the population of 14 million, we have the population, then 26 crore students are there in the India and 15 lakh schools. arranging, organizing the schools, these 10 lakh teachers who are serving this 26 crore students, it was really a big task for the Indian government to have its education quality and all. So here comes the ICT, which becomes a supportive hand. I don't say that ICT is only the solution, but it's really a supportive hand for covering out this 26 crore students into the equal level, that is the quality level education. Then our education policies have been arranged and all. So why India needs this ICT tools, why this ICT for teaching and learning science has been incorporated, because science is a subject which is really there in our daily life, and everything we know that it's this is the era of technology. So technology itself is the base for, has a base which is science. So ICT and science, if combined together, we will have the curious minds having the with their good knowledge innovations out. So that is the reason this ICT has been incorporated. And then
so, ma'am, you showed that very interesting video, and of course it reminded me of the time when the mission was still underway. And not only kids, even we adults, were watching that video and tried to understand how this Chandrayaan is actually following a particular trajectory and making its way towards moon. So they were also showing with all the experimentation. And you rightly said that when it comes to ICT of course, and immersive technologies, you mentioned, these technologies make education or teaching a subject really interesting, because we're moving away from chalk and duster, and now it's a time where we're talking about augmented reality, virtual reality. So ma'am, can you please explain what ICT in education entails and how it is useful for integrating technology into the classroom to enhance both teaching as well as the learning experience?
Sure. So ICT for enhancing the teaching as well as the learning experience, I would like to state that because we have ICT in different classes. What we want is, we want the students to not only know what is the what they have observed, that is the aspects, as I say, one of the aspect is everyone knows there is a lunar eclipse, but we want the students also to have experience of that lunar eclipse, how the lights get blocked, how earth is coming in between, why the rays, and why our I think grandparents used to say, don't go the naked eye. We want that they should know each and every inch of how science is behind all the rules and regulations which our ancestors were taking. So I don't say that everything which our grandparents or our seniors which guide us, that not to go, not to eat while this eclipse and all, everything has science behind. Only aspect, only weaknesses, our teachers need some abstract things to be converted into visualization. Here comes the ICT, which is as a part for the visualization. Now what happened for converting, for while having the ICT in the schools, because I told you there are 15 lakh schools in India, making all the schools utilizing the ICT was really needed. That is the need of the era, because we have to compete with the global world, and our students have to go to the global world. So making all the schools implementing ICT in the classes, there is some rules and regulations being governed by the government. So here comes the picture where the ICTs for teaching and learning science give some policies, some policy perspectives should be there.
Right.
So that is why this policy is needed. Here comes that picture. As I am talking about, 1.4 billion population is there. I told you about schools and all, and we have a diverse world. We have a diversity of, we have different states, different religions, different types of ages of the people. We want everyone to get imparted with equitable and quality education. So to bridge this digital divide, to bridge this diversity, only ICT is the supporting tool. ICT will give a quick analysis of what is the stats, what is the thinking of the people, how many people are being enrolled and all. So this is what ICT is helping us. There are the 5 pillars which is mainly used in ICT, mainly used in NEP 2020 is access. First is access one, second is affordability, third is equity, then is accountability and quality education. So to have the access, as you know, there are still in our country also, still in many countries also, the transport has not reached. How will we make the ICT reach there? So here comes the technology which plays the part. You must be knowing about CIT has launched the PM eVidya channel. That is the perfect example which the government has bridged the gap between internet connectivity and everybody is having a TV at home. So this type of initiatives have been taken, which is actually taken by the government and which has made the ICT reach through that videos and all. They can actually interact with, they can know about with the best videos, see the best animations and know the concept. Learn from the best teachers even if the teachers are not able to reach to their area. So this is why the policy is needed.
Right.
Yes.
So, is there anything else, that you would like to add in this?
Sure. I would like to add that let's consider why policy is needed. Okay, think about any school which doesn't have a fixed curriculum. There are many schools still, private schools are running which are making the students learn anything and all. If we don't have any uniformity, then what chaos will be there? Somebody will be learning alphabet, somebody will be learning the scientific concepts in the class level 3 and all. So we need our science, we need our schools with the uniformity. Then think about a university with no admission criteria. So there need to be something which promotes the consistency. Consistency is that if we have the uniform education standards around everyone across all the regions. Talk about the quality, there should be something, some benchmarks should be standardized and all. So this is where the education policy comes in between. Let's talk about some societal workforce and all. Society needs, as you must be knowing that in China there are lots of technologies, so lots of skills are there. Students are being trained from in the class 6 level only. Now we also in India through our policies and all, we know we need some skills are more needed. So competency based education is more needed. So as per our demand of the society, we are dividing our we are changing our education structure. We are restructuring our education system. Now vocationalization, physical education is coming and all. So this, to shape their future, we need the education policy, so that if they study, they should have a job in their hand, they should be able to serve as an Indian. Then as a guiding educators, these well crafted education policies give us a clear direction of instructions and management. They give us a direction. Yes, the child has to get enrolled in the class age level this. The child in the foundational stage has to study this through the playway method. So there are lots of things which this policies has given. So regarding the ICT also, as you know that ICT is a vast ocean of the knowledge and all. There are some policies which has been kept, that at which age, what is the appropriate ICT tools. If we move to the primary level, or if we move to the middle level, what should be the ICT tools and all. So there should be some policies, all this. So this chaos in curriculum, chaos which is of diversity, which is of right curriculum and all, this has been all removed by this policies which are structuring our educational system. Then talk to about policies. If I talk to you about there are some of the schemes which which government is being taken out, that every child has to reach to the classroom. There are also some schemes that every school also has to have some ICT lab or either one smart board or something. This type of policies are being brought forward. So here this is why policy is needing. This is actually policies are serving us as to remove the digital divide. Even underprivileged students are also able to reach to the access of the quality education, and this has been promoted by different channels, as there are Diksha, there is a Swayam, there is a Swayam Prabha and all. Then this is the ICT policies.
Right. Ma'am, you're absolutely right, because today we are not just looking at the physical education or education physical format, but education in digital format.
Yes.
And that is why we are talking about physical education. It's a new term that I've learned. And you correctly mentioned that there are many myths. Some of these are facts which our grandparents have been telling us, but they couldn't express it in scientific terms.
Yes.
That is why most most of the people, they do not agree and make fun of it. But again, there is a scientific logic, a reasoning behind the same. And you rightly pointed out that today education doesn't only mean that you have to complete the curriculum. It means that you have to develop analytical skills, critical thinking in children. Also, you have to develop skills so that they can take up some vocation or some profession as per their expertise. It's not just about cramming and passing the examinations. But again, we are such a big, huge country with a diverse population living in far-flung areas. Like we have people living in the coastal regions, far points of Indian territorial waters or territorial land. And of course, then we have people living in cold deserts like Leh Ladakh. There, sometimes reaching students or making education accessible to all becomes a challenge. So, what do you think are major challenges that are faced by schools and educators in adopting ICT tools, because it works on a stable internet connection first of all, and how can these challenges be overcome? Because now we want ICT in everything.
So, as you are talking about ICT, first of all, I will tell you the truth of the thing. Some people doesn't know what is actually the ICT. Yeah. Yes, we teachers think that ICT is a simpler term. So, first of all, let me tell you, the ICT is actually use of technology. It is actually to support, it is actually to enhance and optimize the teaching learning process. It's not that we have to just follow the ICT. It is the tool which help us to effectively deliver our instructions. Whatever the information we want to convey to our students, it is the tool which help us to give this information. Mainly the technology tools which are used in classes are that, as online repositories are being used, as a big good repository has been made by our Indian government also is the Diksha. Then as the MOOC courses are there where the child can multiply exit or entry and they can learn as per their own speed, and that is personalized learning space type like. Then as the smart boards, ICT tools which are being used as smart boards. This has changed the picture of the classrooms. Yes. Earlier our teachers used to you highlight the things by different color chalks and all. Yeah. But now we have the smart boards which give the 3D animations, which give the aspects of videos and audios also. Then is the simulation tools. There are lots of simulation tools which simulate the things, as we can't reach to the all the places and all. So, there are some of the simulation tools which make us feel into that thing, as many of the schools in our in this large structure of school education, there are schools which doesn't have the much appropriate labs, but the students want to experience that type of experiment also. Then we have the virtual labs which simulate us with the experiments which are not available in the school because of some cost effectiveness or due to some time efficiency, the material has been degraded and all. Then is the M-learning for flexible education. Mobile learning, we know that this is the era of mobile. Every child is having the mobiles in their hand. Yes. So, for mobile learning, also some of the special material is being prepared which is being ported into the different apps and also students have accessibility to that lab. Then is the digital libraries are being used as an ICT tool. Digital libraries is, I don't say that we know that if we Google the things and all, every answer is present, but appropriate, age appropriate answers is the digital libraries which give us access to different e-books and all, which give us access to costly books which are not available around also. Academic management systems. Our academics, I told you there are a number of students, 10 lakh teachers are there, 15 lakh schools are there around us. So, for 15 lakh, for this 26 crore students, lot of data is there, what they are studying, when they are moving inside the school, what is their marks, what is the quality change we have to do. This all academic management system is supported by ICT, which has saved the time, which has make us do the researches for improving the quality of this product. Then need for ICT. Why we are bringing the ICT? We are talking about ICT and so ICT actually has increased the engagement part, enhanced the engagement. It actually encourages the active participation. How active participation? Earlier I used to move into the labs and all. If the connections are not appropriate, I used to feel shy or embarrassed if I will say to my friend that I am not able to do that connection, I am not able to take the measurements. Or what happened is, sometimes the instructions given by the teacher is I missed some instruction, I am not able to make that connections. Now, what ICT is doing? ICT is fostering us engagement. How? There is a virtual labs which I will be shown by my further resource persons. What they have is, they have the theory part, what to study. They have the simulation part, that this is how the connections will be made. Some video is there. Student can see at their own pace with the slow, we can slow it, we can make it fast also. Then they allow us to have the experience also, connecting positive to negative terminals and all, and see the measurement. So this type of engagement of the student, when the child has done it itself, it makes the child retain the things. And when he moves to the actual physical lab, he is very confident, and the readings are there, and the quick readings are there. Then is the experiential learning. Experiential learning, I want to experience about agriculture. If I am teaching about crop and all, the sand, the humidity and all. Yes, if I live in Punjab, I can do that. If I live in MP, I can do that. But if I live in Himachal, how can I tell about the plateau regions and all? So here come the experiential simulation. These smart boards give us the experiences of what of the environment. The videos are there. So similarly, if we want to see the humidity, how the humidity is changing the growth of the plants and all. So this can be only possible by using the ICT. ICT give us the tools that how humidity can be affecting the growth of the crop and all. Then is the accessibility. As I told you, the technology and resources are making things accessible. Even when we are remote areas, we are learning. It's also a positive best friend for the Divyang students. They also they need a lots of videos and all. Teachers, yes, teachers are there to train these Divyangs. We have the inclusive classrooms and all, but personalized support, you understand? Teacher can give the personal attention, but this ICT is helping teachers as well as Divyang students also to know the concept at their own pace, to know as per their own requirements, and the teachers are taking help of this. Next is personalization. I told you mobiles. Yes, people say that everybody is not having mobile, but since this generation, new generation, every child knows how to operate the mobiles. Let's compare it with our grandparents and all, and then to our further parents. This is the generation where everyone has come after learning the mobile. So bringing all the materials, bringing the labs in their hand is the personalization. Very good initiative has been taken by the government. The NCERT textbooks have been embedded by the QR codes and all. This energized textbook has led to the personalization. The students are able to see, even if they open the books, they are able to see the videos and all if they want to learn. So it's all the personalized click by for the ICT in education. Then is challenges. As you were talking that the students are facing the challenges and unequal access to digital divide. People don't have the reliable internet connectivity and all. I gave the example, a very beautiful initiative of PM E-Vidya has been done. Yes, PM they are even if the suitable infrastructure is not there, they are launching the videos on the satellite, which is affordable, and everyone can reach to that content and all. Teacher trainings, a very I would say, yes, ICT is coming, students are getting very interacted with ICT, they have their mobiles and all, but teachers are senior teachers, or some are the teachers are not trained for effectively for presenting their classes.
Absolutely, you rightly pointed out, and we have been through this entire journey. In this one question of mine, you of course taught us what exactly ICT is and how it is important in making a big difference, and now we're talking about challenges, you said. So we learned about infrastructure, then there is teacher training, which is mandatory, and then there is something called content development also. What's that, ma'am?
Content development, I will say there are lots of content in the resources, in the web sources also, but having a quality content is the major criteria, which the government has taken responsibility on themselves. Having a high quality, is that too according to the localized approach. If I am from sitting in the state of Odisha, then I would like to know the things through the art and culture, because we have that aesthetic sense of art. If I am from some sports state, then I would love to learn everything from the playway and all. So what is your inclination, what is around your surrounding, what is your liking, that depends. So localized context, even making the localized context also will be really useful. High quality education can be presented through this ICT integration.
Right.
Now, ICT integration, we are talking about, there are some resources and all. So it has reached to really a challenge of ICT adoption. What are the challenges? First one is the digital divide. hindering equitable access. This digital divide, I will really say, yes, people normally take the excuses. Some of the teachers says every school is not having ICT in that, so why should we get trained for that? Always remember the thing, even if you don't have the thing, and right now there will be some policies, there will be some updations that sometimes you will get approaching the internet, you will approach the device, digital devices. So better to get trained beforehand, don't waste your time, learn how to utilize the things in the classes, and then it will be easy for you to accept that, to adopt that. If you just giving the excuses always that everyone is not having the digital is not the right thing. We have to find the opportunities to reach ourselves to the global level so that our country can also raise. Then is over reliance on the technology. Then now in some of the places there is also over reliance. You must have heard about ICT adoption. Even in my science subject also, the people are just putting in the chat GPT and all and getting this. So this is called the over reliance. This should also not be a decline. So there should be a proper balance. That is the reason some approaches are there, flipped learning, blended approach. So now a very beautiful term National Education Policy has framed as phygital. So we don't have to over reliance. Phygital is physical plus digital. That is the reason. The best example is the NCERT books, I will say. It has a content which is in the hand of the child, and if he wants to see the video, there is a QR code. So phygital, that is physical and digital. Another thing is we have the labs. I gave one of the example just now only, that no doubt we have the virtual labs where we are going to utilize the things, we have make to connection, but then also experience of physical labs should also be there. So merging both will remove this challenge of this ICT over reliance of the then is data protection and security. Everyone is studying, but making child secure when they are using the ICT wall, some cyber security awareness. So that should be there. We should make the child aware of their flaws and all the negative aspects, so that the child can positively use that and make efficient utilization of the ICT.
Right.
Benefits of ICT, I would like to discuss, Simran, that too. So ICT is bridging the language gap. We have also launched primers of different languages so that everyone, similarly all digital content our government is about to convert into all regional languages. Everyone can understand the things. It makes the mother tongue. It gives us the feeling to learn the things. We don't have to change. I'm not saying that talking the content in English is wrong, but understanding the concept in our language and then then connecting it with the global language makes our research, makes our clarity, makes our understanding, and make retention power more easier. Then is the expanding access. I told you, when you learn different types of languages, don't limit yourself to the regional languages. We can learn French, we can learn German also, if we are learning about the regional languages also. More the languages we have, more we can understand the concept clarity, and more we know about the culture and all. Regarding about the science, no more new technology, I will say, I think nobody can deny Germany has the best technology. If you want to talk about the BMW, talk about the Mercedes and all, these are the best designs. If you want to learn from them, you have to know about the German. Similarly, if you want to know about the agriculture land, you have to know about the Hindi, or you have to know about the Punjabi or Haryanas. So more you know the languages, the more the concept is clear, and the more the skills you will be owning, which will be further good for your futures and all. Then is interdisciplinary approaches. ICT fosters collaborations and all. So interdisciplinaries, different subjects can be easily combined. If I am teaching about science, Chandrayaan 3 only, I will tell you why that Satish Dhawan Center has been taken. I will take you to that location, the GPS and all that, Google Earth will move to that, and why that place has been selected will be taken. Then is the next one is, so this is the ICT which is helping us, and
in a big way. And you correctly mentioned, you gave the example of Germany when it comes to automobiles. Of course, it is the leader. When it comes to architecture, nobody can beat French architects and all. So, and I think, all these European countries that are so developed, they have one thing in common. They always gave preferences to their mother tongue. They studied in that, in their mother tongue. They understood the concepts well, and they're far ahead than many others. And I think now in India also we are bringing this concept, because we have such a huge, we are a huge country with a lot of diversity, and learning in our own mother tongue makes the concepts easily understandable. And then of course you can of course have any international language of your choice. English is a common one, and ICT enables this because you have so many languages and dialects, you know, that ICT actually helps you to learn in your own mother tongue, and this way you not only improve your understanding or knowledge about these critical concepts, but you also learn them, and you can develop an inclination or interest towards a subject also, because now it is there in your own term, in your own language, in those very easy and understandable terms. Now, we also know about the digital divide that you talked about, where we are lacking or what is required. It all becomes possible because we have ICT in use. Only through ICT, not just the education or reaching students is possible, but also where we are lacking to know about that data, to collate that data, and to understand the demographic structures and where we have to work, which thrust areas we need to work upon. They are all possible because of the use of ICT. Now, National Education Policy 2020 also highlights the importance of ICT in education in a big way, because time and again we are saying that we are talking about blended learning, we are talking about equity and inclusivity in education. So, ma'am, according to you, what are the key steps we need to take to ensure effective integration of technology in schools and colleges across India?
Sure. So this is, I will first of all talk about NEP, this National Education Policy 2020, as you were talking about.
Yeah.
It's actually a roadmap for our ICT integration. This is the actually policy which has been framed after 34 years. We have got this new policy as a gift from our government. So this policy is a roadmap which tells us how to work for the ICT. This policy has given especially a prescribed 2 chapters that on the ICT integration in education. First one was chapter 23, that was on online and digital education. This chapter online and digital, it especially emphasizes on digital infrastructure development, that how we can implement ICT in all the schools. So first of all is digital infrastructure should be developed. Then teachers capacity building programs should be there. So they have talked about, they are not just talking about abstract, they have given us proper roadmap. Ki first of all have the infrastructure, then let's train the teachers, and then multilingual e-content so that everyone get connected with that. The establishment of National Education Technology Forum. This forum has been kept for discussions. Every expert, Simran, every expert can put their own ideas there, and other experts will give the suggestions. The more the idea new or innovative or helpful for the country, that will be actually converted into the project, and the more steps will be taken. So this is how the roadmap is working. Then there is a special chapter for technology use and integration. Yes, we have developed the infrastructure, teachers are being trained. Now how to use? It highlights the technology role for improving the access, how to improve the access for all the students. Emphasized about virtual labs. More and more virtual labs will be being constructed for each and every concept. Earlier the virtual labs were more of physics and chemistry, if you see in that, but now they want every concept, every theme should be converted into virtual lab. Coding and data driven educations. Coding is being connected from class 6 level only. National Education Policy has made it compulsory so that everyone knows what is the base behind this labs and all this digital world. Promotes Divyang friendly content. Now Divyangs also have equal opportunities. That is the best thing which government has done. Then is emphasis on digital tools for planning, teaching and assessments. So these tools will be used not only for planning but also for teaching and assessment, which has saved the time of all the teachers. They know about they have the in a quick decisions, they know who is working, who has got the percentage, highest percentage, which question is good. So it is all ICT tools. Then is ICT goals in national education. It developed main goal is to develop ICT expertise. If we want to stand in the global world, we have to be tech savvy. We can't give the excuses to that. So that is what the initiative has been taken by NAP. Encouraging the resource sharing. Then resources are best practices are being shared on as NETF, I told you, is the platform. Maintain accessible repositories. That repositories as Diksha has been launched, which has, and then is the research is being done, which research outcomes have been promoting the studies which will support the ICT in education goal. Then there are 2 curriculum frameworks being framed on the enlightenment of NEP. One is foundational stage NCF-FS 2022 and another is NCF-SE 2023. Foundational stage, they are saying let's have a play based learning, that is digital tools as Jadui Patara for that. They talk about storybooks, games and all techniques. In school education, NCF school education 2023, they talked about experimentation, some experiences, some AR, VRs has been talked. So as per the age perspective, they have given a proper curriculum framework. Some potentials of ICT, it gives us access, content creation, it gives us individual attentions, interactive content is there, and the students and teachers can have this digital content and interact with each other, and there is also online training programs being conducted. This is given by.
Right.
NCF SE has given some possible ICT solution which I really want to share because you are all the teachers. First of all is NDER, a National Digital Education Architect is being constructed where we can share our views, we can put our points and all. Digital books and libraries are there, QR code and digital which I have already discussed, content creation capabilities are there, assessment, question banks are being ported. These all things you will be available. I want to give a small glimpse because of the time constraint and all. Key examples, ICT is being integrated in virtual labs, digital storybooks. Let me show you how it is being embedded. ICT in science education across stages. I told you foundational stage, that is a small stage when the child is very small. So storytelling. Storytelling will be digital. In Jadui Patara, we have teacher board, Tara board. So they are giving us the stories with animations and all. The students are being linked. Preparatory stage, as the stage increases, the hands-on activities increases. How it has been done is the cause multimedia content which has some match of the following, so cause effect. If you will do, you will get the reward and all. This type of multimedia is being in the preparatory stage because they need more and more reinforcement. Middle stage, again the simulations, and secondary stage we have MOOC courses, we have virtual labs and all. And initiatives as per the policies is being taken. First of all, repositories, NORE will be National Repository of Open Education Resource was there, which has been, these all materials has been taken out. Then multimedia modules are being constructed. Moving into the 2016 now, our Diksha platform is there, where QR coded textbooks are being launched, which is linked with the Diksha platform. Then AR, VR roles and teacher trainings are there. I want to just show the picture of Diksha which has such a good features of open educational resources. You on your mobile can open this energized textbook. You have your multilingual support also. This is converted into different languages. Then a picture of engaging virtual labs which will be discussed further also. It is actually National Education Policy recommends creating virtual labs. So this is the policy which tells us let's connect students to have an experimentation and exploration. Empowering digital storybooks. Storybooks have been empowered, and Jadui Patara is the stage which has really been liked by the government, by the parents as well as the teachers and the students, and this has made the content to be multilingual and foundational. Right. So this is the AR, VR content. We have some immersive labs and all. Bridging textbooks and technology. I told you QR coded books and all were there. So moving forward, embracing the ICT for brighter future, I will say strategically ICT into science education. Moment ICT comes into science education, it makes more accessible, engaging and transferable. No person will find science as a difficult subject because of its abstract phenomena. Students were lacking that, but now you will be connected with because of ICT. So here it can make the science students very
Absolutely.
So
I think you know, you have already told us, you have already answered my question, because I was about to ask you that how do you envision the future when it comes to teaching learning of sciences, because today we're talking about virtual labs, immersive technologies, AR, VR, so you've already answered that.
Yes.
And also we have very little time left, so just one last question. I think it will help you also to sum up the entire discussion that you've done with us, that with ICT playing a significant role in education, how do you think policymakers can ensure that digital learning remains inclusive and accessible to all the students, and particularly those in remote or underserved areas, because of course we have many areas that are located in the far-flung locations where even technology is not reaching that regularly.
So as I am telling you, ICT is a bright future for our science educators or for all the educators, all subject educators. So how it will be helping for being accessible? True. I would like to conclude by saying that that shaping the future of science education, ICT has made everything accessible. ensuring equal ICT resources for all learners regardless of the location, caste and all. Okay, then ICT has make everyone engaging, because we have on our own mobiles and all, we have our digital content in our hand, we study at our own pace, we study according to our diverse learning styles also. Somebody wants to study with the music, somebody with audio, somebody wants to be interactive. So this is how it has made engaging. Then is innovative. We want our citizens, and national education policy is focusing on 21st century skills, creativity, communication, fostering the flexibility and all. So this is what ICT is answering. Every teacher can't be there for 24/7. So here is the ICT, here is our teacher bot, here is the teacher Tara, here is the chatbots, which is present here to answer us our doubts and all. Then is about transformative. ICT is empowering the students, making them active learners and problem solvers. Because they are transforming the students from just gaining the knowledge from teachers, what they pour, they are finding out their own knowledge. They are observing the things with a minute observation. If I talk about any refraction or reflection, my students were just seeing that this is the light which is getting reflected, and we were putting pins on the board and all. If all science teachers, you must know. But now what has happened? Virtual lab is showing where is the angle deflection, why the light is getting deflected. So here the students have been students' role have been transformed. They ask you the questions what to do the next, what to study and what is our limit. So teacher is more of as a facilitator when ICT. I don't say the teacher's role has been finished, but teacher is more of as a facilitator. So this is how we are going to shape the future of our science educators and science education, and how it will be making fun learning education for us science.
Absolutely. So we're looking forward to make our education really fun and joyous, and of course we all know that ICT is the only way forward, because now when we talk about also including the Divyang journey into the mainstream, also when it comes to education, then ICT is the answer for the same. It of course encourages personalized learning, customized learning, it gives you instant feedback also, and it helps you to do the study or gaining knowledge as per your own time convenience. There are no space constraints, and you just need an ICT device and a stable internet connection and you are good to go. Of course, we are also looking at present scenario where we are encouraging online courses also. So all this becomes possible because now we have ICT in educational sector, and when it comes to sciences, then of course ICT is definitely a boon, I would say, because there are many concepts that earlier we were just imagining, but now you can see them in reality happening in front of your eyes, and you can develop I would say a kind of engaging experience. You can develop an interest in the subject also, like how planets revolve and rotate, about photosynthesis process, how electric current passes through. And ma'am rightly pointed out that now ICT is not only focusing on making or like virtual labs are not just about the learning of science and mathematics. In fact, languages can be also learned these days with the help of virtual labs. So there's a lot more happening, and I'm sure that in order to bridge the gap that is there, the government is also taking initiatives, and National Education Policy 2020, its guidelines and recommendations are definitely working on this project so that we make education accessible to all, and ICT definitely is playing a big role in imparting education when it comes to science, because there are complex calculations, there are problems that you need to solve, and for that you require creative skills, analytical thinking, problem solving skills, and ICT is definitely helping you to develop them. Now, since this is our online training session and today was day 1 where we talked about ICT for teaching and learning of science, policy, perspective, need and scope. This is not the end of the discussion, because we are going to have many more sessions, and there is going to be an assessment activity. So let's take a look at the website which I was mentioning in the beginning of the session, that how you can participate in this online training program. So let's have a look, and we have this website ciet.ncert.gov.in. That's our home page, and here you have to go to the activities section, click on the workshop and training option, scroll down, and here you can definitely click on this ICT for teaching and learning of sciences. This is the current activity. Here is the entire schedule. Today we talked about on day 1 on ICT for teaching and learning of science, policy, perspectives, need and scope. Tomorrow on day 2 we will be talking about audio and video resources for the teaching and learning of sciences. Since we are focusing on the role of ICT in sciences, that is why we have taken up all the related themes, accordingly. Now, who all can participate? Everybody can participate. As you can see, there are the objectives of training program. Entire program schedule is there, along with the name of the resource persons, the topics, and whatever sessions we are conducting, we will upload their links here. You can watch all these programs on our YouTube channel NCERT official for your later references as well. They will be uploaded shortly. And now, how to participate? Step 1 is registration. You need to register yourself. Scan this QR code or click on the link. Secondly, you have to watch all our programs very attentively. They are streaming on these different platforms, so make sure that you watch them very nicely so that you can answer the questions. Then you have to participate in the assessment, and if you score more than 70%, you will get yourself a certificate, and that you can download from Diksha portal. So all these main points are here, that how and when the link will be activated and how you can participate in the assessment activity. Last but not the least, you have to submit your feedback, and you can do that by clicking on the link or scanning the QR code, because your feedback is extremely important to us. It is essential so that we can improve upon our training sessions. We can bring for you newer and relevant content as per your desire and requirement. So you can reach out to us on training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in, or you can give us a call, on this phone number, so that we can connect with you and you can connect with us, and we can have this particular training session in a much better way. So that was about the training activity and how you can participate. And now let me thank my expert for the day, for this particular session, Dr. Jipsy Malhotra. Thank you so much. And you explained all the points very nicely, and you really showed us what's the way forward and why we are doing what we are doing, what the government is doing, and how ICT is definitely a boon for all of us, especially for today's generation. For them, they are so tech driven that I don't think that they will enjoy any subject or any concept without the involvement of ICT in it. Thank you so much. And now, before I leave, here is an important announcement. It is regarding the upcoming competition. Yes, so let's know about it. This is the All India Children's Educational E-Content Competition. It is back for the year 2024-25. We invite teachers, teacher educators, students and independent educational e-content creators to submit their best e-content for the competition. For further details and the registration form, please visit the activities section of our official website, www.ciet.ncert.gov.in, or scan the QR code on the screen. The final date for submission is December 31st, 2024. So do participate, and we wish you all the very best for this competition. May you all come out with flying colors, and don't forget to send us your best e-content. And now, before I close this session, it's time for us to have a look at the schedule. So I will tell you that what all programs you can watch. So we started our day with our yoga program, Yoga Shakti, that at 10 o'clock in the morning, we presented you a session on virtual lab, need, perspective and scope. Then at 12 p.m. we brought for you a session in Hindi, and at 2 p.m. we brought for you a session in mathematics titled Fun with Numbers. It was followed by a session in Hindi titled Rani B, and that at 3 p.m. we brought you a session in English titled Between Home and School. 3:30 p.m. was the time for our session of mathematics, where we discussed Rani's gift, and of course we focused on measurement. 4 to 5 p.m. yes, we just concluded our online training program. Today was day 1, where we talked about ICT for teaching and learning of science. That is our umbrella theme for this particular training week. And today on day 1, we talked about ICT for teaching and learning of science, policy perspectives, need and scope. In a short while from now, you can watch our session Sahyog, and it will be on mindful living, yoga for teens. We all know that so many distractions are there these days, that we do not just want to lead our life, we want to live our life peacefully, and for that we need to live purposefully and mindfully. Yoga is one way to do that, and of course I clearly mentioned you that we always start a day with Yoga Shakti program here in CIET and NCERT New Delhi, and now talking in Sahyog of the same thing is going to be an icing on the cake. So this is me, Harpreet Kaur, wrapping up the session over here, but you stay tuned for our educational programs. These videos that you're watching right now will be uploaded on our YouTube channel NCERT official shortly, so you can use them for later references as well. So take care, stay tuned. This is me Harpreet Kaur taking leave of you for the day. Namaskar.